Numbers 4, 5, and 6. So we're going to simplify so that we only have positive exponents, and we'll use our properties of exponents to do that. So on number 4, we have x raised. Now we don't know what x is, but to simplify a negative power, we're going to rewrite it as the reciprocal. So we'll think of this as over 1. So we'll drop into the denominator. Since there's nothing left up on top, then just 1 is in our numerator. And then our exponent becomes positive. Now number 5, we have 1 over y to the negative 2. So when we take the reciprocal of this, then we move it up to the numerator. So that becomes y to the positive 2 over 1, or simply y squared. Now with number 6, we're multiplying everything, so I'm going to think of like terms. So I'm going to take my 2 times my 4, which is 8, and then my x squared times x to the negative 1, so I can just add those exponents. And then y to the 5th times y to the 3rd. Whoops, I'm going to add those exponents. So I'll end up with 8x times y to the 8th. Now let's look at numbers 7, come back, 7, 8, and 9. So with number 7, we've got a fraction, and so that means division. So again, we'll just think of like terms again. So we'll think of, first just work with our negative 8 and 16. We can divide each of those by 8, so that'll reduce down to negative 1. I'm just going to write there over 2. Now with the x's, I have x to the 5th divided by x to the 2nd, so I'm going to subtract the exponents. I'll take the bigger one minus the smaller. And then with the y's, again dividing, so I'm going to subtract bigger minus smaller, and since my bigger one's in the denominator, that's where my term will be. So now to simplify, I'll have my negative out front. I don't need to write that 1 number there, x to the 3rd over 2y to the 8th. Now I'm simplified when I have my numbers simplified as a fraction, and then I don't have any repeats with my variables. Now on number 8, notice that we've got this negative exponent we need to simplify. It's only the x that's raised to the negative 4 power. So our 2 will remain in the numerator, and only the x will move to the denominator, and our exponent will become positive. Alright, now in number 9, we're raising everything in this fraction here to the 2nd power. So that means my 3 gets raised to the 2nd power, my x squared to the 2nd, so I'm going to multiply those exponents, and then my y, I'll multiply the exponent. 4 times 2 is 8, and even the y squared in the denominator, that also gets raised to the 2nd power. So I'll have 9x to the 4th, y to the 8th, over y to the 4th. Now I'm not completely simplified because I have repeats here with my y's. So I can go ahead and divide those out. When I divide, I'm going to subtract the exponents. 8 minus 4 is 4. I don't have any term now in the denominator except for 1. So, and I don't need to write that over 1 because it's not going to change the expression. So this is my final answer.